know what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 The 2021 Masterclass series is over, but it was an immense success. Feedback received has been amazing, and we heard your requests. So in 2022, we will continue the Masterclass series once a month. On January 16th from 3 to 5 p.m., notice the new time, we'll have our first Masterclass of the year on course creation in Kajabi. There are many platforms you can choose from to host and deliver self-paced online course content. In this 2-hour session, you'll learn the key components that make an online course successful for whatever platform you decide to go with. But we will show some practical examples using Kajabi. $67 reserves your seat. Grab your tickets today at kirkarnugent.com/masterclass, and let's figure out how it all works. What is good, family? It's good to be back with another episode of How It All Works, man. There's a lot to cover today. There's a lot that we're doing. I want to say a special word of welcome to my LinkedIn family. I see you out there, Egu. I see 4 of you guys over on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. We're doing something new tonight. It's not our first time going to LinkedIn, but this is our first time pushing it in this way, right? We are actually going to be highlighting some of the functions and features on LinkedIn tonight. So if you were in my support community on BMAC, you got an email and I asked you to try out LinkedIn tonight because I want you to try out that networking tab. I want you to follow some people. I want to make this an interactive scenario. And then we also tagged our speaker. So he's actually featured in the event on LinkedIn as our featured guest, and excited about that, excited about getting into our content today. And yeah, we're going to get into that right now because we need to look at some of our announcements. Now, family, I need some help from you guys. And that is simply this. I don't know if my guy, David Hunt, is in the comments already. I don't see him, but what I need your help with is for you guys to head over. Let me see how I can do this. How can we do this? I need you to head over to Amazon and actually go to where my book is, because we got, for those that don't know, the book is on Amazon. I'm posting that link in the chat right now. This book, 31 live streaming tips to grow and engage your audience, it is now on Amazon. And I have an opportunity coming up this week, and I want to make sure that there are some reviews on the book on Amazon prior to that opportunity. Come on. So I need your help in 2 ways. So first thing I want you to do is to head over to Amazon. The link is in the description. Well, not in the description, actually. It's right on the screen right now. It looks like Kanik put it in over on LinkedIn. So thank you for that, Kanik. And so my folks on YouTube and LinkedIn both have the link. So thank you for that. Want you to head over to head over to Amazon when you get a chance, not now maybe, but anyway, bookmark the thing, head over, give us a review because that's going to help us in this effort. The next thing I want you to do is this secondary item. Where is this secondary item? That is our podcast. We have launched a podcast. So I'm actually dropping that in the comments over here on YouTube. Hopefully we can get that over on LinkedIn for my folks on LinkedIn as well. I want you to check out the podcast. You guys have already, are you giving one away also? I might, Egu, and if I give one away, I'm hoping that you don't win yet again. But I'm hoping that you guys can get over to the page that we just put in the link is in the chat right now. I want you to go ahead and head over there if you can, some point during the course of the week this week. Check out the podcast. Most of you have already seen or heard, I should say, watched all of these episodes. We've just made them into a podcast form now. And we'd love to get your feedback on that. We'd love for you guys to be able to give us some stars, if you will, on that podcast, because this is what we're trying to push in some of these spaces. And again, like I said, we have an opportunity coming up. Hey, did I really miss all the master classes? Oh, that's such a great segue, Anthony Corns. That's such a great segue because our next masterclass in the month of January is going to be on course creation. Now, I know that the flyer has Kajabi there. We will be showing some practical examples from Kajabi, but I want to be clear. Everything that we'll be sharing in this class, January 16th, is going to be applicable no matter which platform you decide to go with. There's so many that are out there, so I'm not even going to try and list them all, but we will be sharing with you course creation tips, tricks, tools, techniques, and we'll be talking about how you can take your live and put it into a course as well. So definitely want to make sure you are able to take advantage of that. The thing is already up for sale, and you saw the promo for it as we were getting ready to come into the show today. That's what we played as we were coming into the show today. So this is the first of 3. We're continuing our masterclass series month by month in the new year. And so this is the 3 different ones that we're going to be doing. One is on course creation. The second one, the February one, is going to be on content creation for ministry. my faith-based folks, my pastors, all my elders and preachers, teachers who are in the faith-based space are like, Kirk, you got to help us too. So we're going to do something specifically for content creation for ministry. But to be clear, this is not just for pastors and leaders from that perspective. We want to make sure you guys, anybody who wants to launch and start a ministry online, wants to be successful in the online space, we want to make sure you do that. I got a chance to speak last week at Pastors Evangelism Leadership Conference, and my topic was a content creator's approach to online ministry. And I'm excited to be able to share that with you. What's good, Seth Ulorda? What's good, David Kennedy? Shane Linton is in the building. Egu says production is dope on this. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that comment. The next thing we want to make sure you guys are aware of is that the merch is available. I keep on getting these messages saying, hey, I wanted to buy that t-shirt you had on. You know, this t-shirt that's particularly on the screen right now, answer a question, be consistent, be vulnerable. Those were 3 of my major points in the last presentation I gave. So I want to let y'all know that it is available at howitallworks.com/shop. And how it works is if you buy anything from the shop, you will get a throw-in gift, and that throw-in gift is the shirt of the month. So every month there's a shirt of the month, and so when Pierre comes on screen, I'm going to ask him if he got his shirt of the month, because we do have a shirt this month, and I was wearing it during the masterclass on Sunday. For those that were in the masterclass, you already know what shirt that is. So if you buy anything from our shop page, then you get this extra item. You see how that works? All right, cool. So wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that. And that you're able to take advantage of it as well. We have a really cool opportunity coming up in the month of January where I'll be talking about live video strategy. It's going to be a solo series on the channel. I'm going to be giving you several things that listen, this is, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. We're going to be sharing with you all of the tea, if you will, right? There'll be no show on the 3rd of January, but we will come back on the 10th with defining your brand, on the 17th, building community, on the 24th, automate, scale, and monetize. And then on the 31st, we close it out with organic partnerships and sponsorships. This is my signature setup. This is my signature a strategy. I'm giving you some of the basics of the framework, and then of course going to be giving you multiple opportunities to sign up for our program, which we'll be launching in February. So this is what we'll be doing in January, and I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that you guys can come and hang out with us, and definitely that's how we're going to start off the year. But we are not racing past what we're doing to close out the year, right? We had Robert Kennedy III last week, and it was amazing, awesome time. Yeah, Migs, we got some heat coming in January. We had an awesome time with RK3 last week, Monday. So if you didn't catch that, you want to make sure you go back and catch that. Then today we're going to be talking about all kinds of different things with leadership coach extraordinaire Pierre Quinn. Excited about that. And then of course next week we're going to be talking about the impact of live streaming for entrepreneurs, especially startups, with my guy Kimon Hines from Ideas to Life. These are all people you want to make sure you are here for as we close out the season, as we close out the year. The last week of the month, that 27th, we will not have a show. That Monday in between Christmas and New Year's, we will not have a show that week. And then of course the 3rd, which is just 2 days after New Year's Day, we will not have a show. So we'll take 2 weeks off, and then we come back in January. But my guest today is my good friend Pierre Quinn. I see Evan Morcell is out here. Digital global warming. This is full on heat wave. I love it. But yeah. I love the fact that we got a good crew with us today, hanging out with us today. Some of you guys came to see my guests. Some of you guys are my regulars, and I love that. I want to make sure you guys get a chance to share, and then share again. You can tag people on Facebook. You can actually share or invite people on LinkedIn. I think that's the terminology on LinkedIn. You want to invite people, but then you can also, I don't know if you knew this, but you can now share on YouTube as well. they've opened that thing up for a lot of accounts. So you may have been, you're used to thinking, oh, only the big accounts, the people with thousands of subscribers. They've actually lowered that number to, I think it's 500. So if you have, a couple of subscribers on YouTube, you can now start using that as a social media platform, and you can share too. So definitely want to make sure you guys get a chance to share that. What's good, Align? Thank you so much for coming through. Excited to see you here today. The quote from Pierre Quinn, here it is. You can't expect people to knock on your door if you haven't given them a reason to look for your house. I'm pausing. You can't expect people to knock on your door if you haven't given people a reason to look for your house. I'm excited about getting into this content today with Pierre. Excited about doing a few little things on LinkedIn that we've not done before. But when we get back from the intro, I want you guys to give Mr. Pierre Quinn a How It All Works welcome. Here we go. Yes, 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 yes. We have Mr. Pierre Quinn on the live. I'm excited to have you here, Doc. What's good, man?
Man, it's a pleasure. It's an honor. I mean, really, you gonna put two of us on the same show? You know what happens every time we do that. But I'm here, man. I'm all for it.
Man, listen, I was looking for my claps and my cheers earlier. I got to get that in. We have to do that. We have to do that. We got to make sure that we bring Pierre on, because I know that the folks in the chat want to do that, but they're not physically in the space with us. So we see the emojis coming through already. We see folks already saying this is going to be fire. I'm looking forward to it, brother. And for my folks on LinkedIn, thank you so much for coming and hanging out today. We got 6 of you guys out there. This is amazing. Definitely want to make sure we are mindful that we have another audience. So we're working this thing through. And for my regular folks, if you get a chance to, go ahead and check out what we got going on LinkedIn, because we will be pushing some new content to that platform, and we're excited about that. Gary Jones says, welcome back, Pierre Quinn. I love that, because he's so right. This is like your 3rd time on the show. Am I correct?
True. Yeah. Yeah, this is not our first rodeo. So
this is, you are an HIAW regular, an alum. So we're excited to have you here today, man. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put this first question on the screen, because there may be somebody out there in the internet land who is not aware of the greatness that is Mr. Pierre Quinn. And so I want to make sure, hey, Bob Ponce is over on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us on LinkedIn, Bob. That's amazing. So, but yeah, Pierre, talk to us, tell the people a little bit about who you are, what you do, and your relationship to live streaming. Now, I want to be clear. This is kind of current events. The next question is where we want to hear your story, but this one was just current. We want to station identify. We want folks to understand who they're listening to on the show today. So go ahead.
Pierre Quinn, leadership strategist, consultant. There's some keynote speaking and executive coaching in there as well. And I live at the intersection of teaching leaders how to assess their strengths, how to build stronger organizational cultures, and how to develop the relationships that lead to personal and professional transformation. And in terms of the relationship to live streaming, and I know this is kind of teeing us up for what's next.
Come on.
Going live with my content has led to work with some of the best clients in my leadership development career. I'll say that one more time. Going live and sharing my content has resulted in working with some of the best clients in my entire leadership development career. So if you're not live streaming, especially if you're in the leadership development coach keynote speaking space, if you're not live streaming, you're missing out. You're definitely missing out.
I'm so glad we started right here, and because I wanted you to unpack that quote from
Yeah.
the quote you sent in. So for those that don't know, let me come back on screen for just a second. For those that don't know, I ask my guests to come through with a quote, right? I ask them to come through and say, okay, give me your social media handles, give me some questions that we want to tackle in the show, but also give me a personal quote. So this quote is what Pierre gave us, and I would love, just based on what you said right there, right? That live streaming has opened the door for you to work with some of the best clients in your executive coaching career. And I
Yeah.
love to hear that, but I also hear your quote as you say that. So talk to us a little. You get what I'm saying? It's like you want people to knock on the door, but you haven't told them where you live. You haven't told them where your house is. You haven't given them a reason to come to your house. So go down and unpack that a little bit, and then we'll dive into our second question.
Yeah. So, I'll just give a current experience. I did a couple of weeks ago. I was doing some work at a retreat, really nice retreat for this organization, a government contracting organization. I mean, movers and shakers in their particular industry. They're growing by leaps and bounds. I get an inquiry on my website. Person says, hey, we're looking for a couple of hours, leadership development session, team building, wow, yada, yada, yada. And can we chat? So of course we can chat. My assistant coordinated the time, and we got on the call, and we're just kind of chatting, sharing stories, talking about particulars, organization, all that stuff. And then I threw in this question, right? So, how did you find me?
That's the question.
And the person was like, oh, you do a LinkedIn live show on Sundays, like Sunday nights. Sunday Night Live.
Nights. Come on, clarity.
Sunday Night Live, right? And I've watched several of those.
Wow.
Now I know we're going to unpack this a little bit later, but she says I watched several of those, and I recognize that this person has not shown up in the comments. This person has never shared it. This person has not given any indication. I wouldn't have known unless she told me, hey, I watch Sunday Night Live every so often. Or if I don't catch it live, I watch the replay. And after watching you on your whiteboard on Sunday Night Live, I thought to myself, his energy is good. His content is solid. His understanding of leadership is really good. I think he can come into our company and do this training for us.
Amazing. Even as we get ready to have you tell a little bit of your story, I want to catch Egu's comment here. The infamous whiteboard Mig says, but Egu says, agreed. If after the pandemic you still don't understand what live streaming does, you are gravely behind. Are gravely behind. Egu, I could not agree with you more. Egu is over in the comments on LinkedIn. Want to do a shout out to my LinkedIn crew one more time. But listen, before we dive too deeply into our topic, because we're already running away with it right now. I want to throw our second question on the screen. First and second questions are crowd favorites. That's why they never change. I ask this question of every guest we have on the show because everybody has a story, and your story gives credibility and relevance to whatever it is you will share. So before we dive into the content, the title of our live today, we want to hear, like, how did you get here, right? What's your live streaming / content creator story? How did you get started? I know that it finds its roots in podcasting. It may even go even further than that, but talk to us a little bit about how you got started.
Okay, so you mentioned podcasting, and I've been a terrible creator in this regard, where I'm at the point now where I've had my podcast for several years, and it is about to be revamped and re-upped. We're in a kind of purgatory stage with the podcast. But as I was initially having these thoughts about where do I go with the podcast and how do I maintain contact and visibility and top of mind awareness, I said, you know what? Instead of just recording the podcast and calling it the Leading While Green podcast, because that's the name of it, I want to do something live. And this was, I'm thinking, I wrote my second book, Leading While Scared, How to Find the Courage to Keep Going. And I said, you know, let's do something on courage. I'm going to call this Courageous Conversations.
I love it.
We're going to do Courageous Conversations live, and we're just going to live stream these conversations, you know. And honestly, at this stage, because I'm testing and I'm trying to figure out what works for me and my vibe, my flow, it doesn't really matter if people watch or not, because I'm lab testing live. I'm just going to go live.
That's
I
it.
set up my podcast. I'm going to get a guest. I say, hey, 15 to 20 minutes, 2 or 3 questions, plug your stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And the leverage point for me was, at the time, Kirk, amongst the people I was reaching out to, I was the only one who had access to LinkedIn Live, because it was in that phase where people were like, "Oh, you have LinkedIn Live. I'm just intrigued to be on the platform."
Yeah, so you have latitude. Ooh, if we could just pause right here to say, this is one of the things I really love about being on Amazon Live, right? I'm about to launch a new series in January. All I'm doing is interviewing new authors, because they are selling their book on Amazon Live. I'm sorry, on Amazon, but they don't have the ability to go live.
Come on. There it is.
So access to the platform becomes a form of currency. And how do you get access to the platform? You have to show the platform that you have an audience. I'm done. All right.
You have to show them that they can trust you with being live.
That's it. Man, this is gold already. All right, continue. We're in the story mode, right? We're in story mode, right?
So I hop on, I'm saying, hey, interviews, because I already had, you know, if we back up a little bit, the power of consistency and top of mind awareness. If you go back to the podcast where I was super serious in that section of life, I had a couple of publicists say, hey, can we partner?
Yeah.
We'll just send you books every month. You pick the ones that you like, and we'll set up the interview. Wow. So books, they're still coming to the house. Books come to my house. 3, 4, 5 books a month come to my house. So at the beginning, I was reaching out. This is the thing about awareness and visibility. At the beginning, I was reaching out. I was hopping in DMs, sending emails, you know, borderline spamming people to be on my podcast.
Come on.
After a while, I had 2 publicists. Well, I think there are 3 publicists who said, hey, you got something special here. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to send you books in the mail. You peruse them. If you like the author, we'll set them up to be interviewed by you. Well, when I did LinkedIn Live, I just continued to leverage that relationship. I said, hey, I'm kind of pivoting. Not so much doing the podcast, but I really want to build up awareness on LinkedIn Live. And a lot of people say, hey, that's a different audience. We didn't think about LinkedIn Live. We'd love for you to interview our author on LinkedIn Live. The amount of connections I've been able to make, and not just holding opportunities for myself, but facilitating connections between people as a result of having a platform, as a result of amplifying someone else's voice, and as a result of just holding space. And that's the cool thing about going live. Right. It's not always about your particular message. Not always. Yeah. Sometimes it's simply about you holding space for others who might not be as comfortable live, who might not have tech under control, who might not know what to do, but holding space for them, the return for you is so amazing.
That's it right there. That's good.
And you can leverage that above and beyond. Not to mention the amount of content you can chop up from that for years to come. Just by going live.
Just by going live. I'm hoping that folks are really picking up what you are putting down here, right? I'm hoping that people are catching the relevance to the conversation that we are having today, because we are about to dive into a couple of questions, and I want to get the audience's reaction first before we let Pierre loose on these 2 questions. We have 2 primary questions that we want to dive into today, but I want to get our audience's response here. And so this is your time, audience. You're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube. We want you to get to your keyboard. This is the time. And so on the screen, you can read it before I do. They say, you know, people can read it in their heads faster than you can read out loud. But I'm going to say it for the purpose of our podcast listeners. I'm going to say this. There are many ways to deliver valuable content. Would one of those ways be free? Would one of those ways of delivering valuable content, would it make sense? You have something of value to share. Would it make sense to share it for free? I want to hear your responses around that concept in the comments. And as you are doing that, I want to play a very quick video. Looking for marketing opportunities for your business? Consider being a show sponsor for How It All Works. Sponsor packages include a company shout out during announcements, your business name and website in the show ticker, and a mention in the show credits. Platinum and gold sponsor packages are available. Email info@howitallworks.com for more information. And we're back. And the question is back as well. I'm not even going to say nothing about our sponsor video. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and hit us up, info@howitallworks. But yeah, I see some responses coming in, and this is the reason why I did the video that way, because it allows for that gap, right, Pierre? It allows for that delay to you know, for us to have something for that delay. So we have some responses coming in. So Seth Yolorda says yes. So the question again is, there are many ways to deliver valuable content. Would one of those ways be free? Would it make sense for a thought leader, for a coach, for a speaker, right, to allow people to consume their content for free? And so we have a couple of yeses. Egu says yes over on LinkedIn. Seth says yes on YouTube. Gary says, when you place free content, you get leads and create community. So Gary is saying, not only is he saying yes, he's saying here's why. So Gary, you're doing the extra credit thing.
Love it.
Yeah, we're doing the extra credit thing. And so Egu says engagement. Guest and Pierre says oi, which I'm assuming is yes. but come on, Pierre, we want to weigh in on this before we dive into our next question. Yeah, would it make sense to give away the content for free? Like, we are right now live giving away the answers to the two questions that we put in the title of today, like giving away your content and creating your own opportunities, right? That was a part of the title of what we are doing today. What does that make sense to do that for somebody like you? Come on, talk to us, Pierre.
So I used to work at the mall. I worked at the mall in high school. After my junior, senior year holidays, I worked at the mall. And I worked at several stores, but there was this one particular place that I worked at that was thinking back on it, it was life-changing for me as a person and my growth and my maturity and all of that. And I don't know if any of you have heard of a place called the Fudgery. I know people from Baltimore are familiar with the Fudgery or different big cities.
Dude, did you work at the Fudgery?
Worked at the Fudgery.
No way.
At the Fudgery. Yep. I worked at the Fudgery, Arbor Hills, Michigan, at the mall there for a couple of years. And the Fudgery it's a fudge shop. So we make fudge on Georgia marble tables, 400-pound Georgia marble tables and copper kettles that we boil the fudge in, and we let it cool on the tables, and we shape it into, if you've ever been to like a Mackinac, or if you've been to a Kilwins or a Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, places where you've seen people make fudge on the tables. And I did that for a couple of years, and it wasn't just making fudge. It was a song. You got to sing, you got to dance, you got to harmonize. It's a show. Like it's a full show. Now people are coming to the mall.
Come on.
People are coming to the mall, and we have to give them a reason to stop.
Come on.
So the reason to stop is the song and dance. That's the song and dance. That's why we sing, and that's why we dance. But I don't just want you to stop. I want a transaction. And the best way to get a transaction from you after you've heard song, after we've caught your attention, the best way to get a transaction from you is to give you a free sample.
Come on.
you the free sample. You've heard the song and dance, something that's caught your attention. We get
This
you
is
that
dope.
free sample and that tiny spoon. You
Yes.
you take that tiny spoon of fudge. You're
Yeah.
like, how much is it? Well, it's $5.29 a pound. This is an expensive date. Like fudge was not cheap. But we caught their attention and we gave them that free sample. People would buy hundreds of dollars of fudge.
Listen, I'm about to say goodbye to you, Pierre. Continue, please.
The sample.
Wow.
And here's the thing about the sample. The sample was not a degradation of the real thing. The sample wasn't a watered down version of the real thing. It's just the intensity of it was different, because we would literally go to the table where the full table of fudge, before we cut it down, we would literally go to that table and take a spoon and dip off a piece of the fudge right from the table, right from the main block, and put it in people's hands. And they said, wait, if that little bit tastes like that, how much for a full slice? How much for a full slice? And that was the methodology.
Wow.
We continuously gave out free samples. There's another popular example of this. If you frequented the mall, and I worked at the mall, and there were times where I couldn't afford to eat. Right?
Come on.
So what did I do? I hung out in the food court and tasted all the free samples. But here's the thing. Eventually, when I had money on payday, I thought back to what were the best free samples I enjoyed that week.
That's good.
I'm going to go to the place that provided me the best free sample. I'm going to spend my money there. And I did that every single time.
The sample didn't get you full. The sample didn't get you full. The sample did not get you full, but the sample gave you a taste of the quality.
Yep.
Ooh, that's ooh. Listen, the comments have gone nuts. I'm gonna try and catch back up here real quick. Yeah. And listen, I want to say something real quick about the fudgery. Isn't that where Drew Hill was discovered? Okay,
Drew Hill.
I'm gonna leave it alone. We're going back. We're going way back right now.
Everybody who worked in the fudgery knew they were going to be discovered as the next
Everybody, man. And people were singing their heads off too, man. Okay, but no. We got some really good comments here. People are busy. They won't apply your free content. They'll still want to pay to bring you in to help them. That's good. That's good, Seth. That's good, Seth Yolorda. Thank you so much for that comment. And then of course, Egu says it makes you searchable. It makes you searchable. I hope that somebody understands the importance of being searchable, right?
Can we say there just a little bit? Can we say there just? So it wasn't, and now I'm thinking about this, Egu. I'm thinking about this, that it wasn't just the sample of the chocolate. Well, it wasn't always chocolate, but it wasn't just a sample of the product that captivated people. It was the entire package. Wow. So when we were giving out free samples, it wasn't just, you here for a free sample, I'm going to treat you differently. No, if you came for a free sample, you still got a song, you still got to dance, you still got to welcome to the fudge. And the reason why that is so important is because people are thinking about the entire experience with you.
Right.
They're thinking about that entire experience.
Full experience.
And the full experience is the sample. Let me put it a different way. There's a reason why Kirk does intros and callbacks and acknowledging the live audience. And there's a reason why there's 3 people on, and they in the comments I say what's up to them, because they're not just basing it on when I start teaching content.
No.
Basing it on when they see me. Wow. So if you don't feel captivated, intrigued, respected, or like you've been brought in,
you're giving gold right now.
It doesn't matter how good my sample is. Y'all not listening.
The sample, it doesn't matter. Oh my gosh.
Y'all not listening.
The sample could be absolute gold if the lead up to the sample. Oh my. Let me get these comments. I'm coming back to you. Evan Morsell says taste and see. Taste and see. Kerwin says it depends on the audience. A community building, yes, life lesson that's paid content, I should say.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Paid content. Giving more sales, giving away your best stuff for free. And he put some question marks there. Daryl Mitchell comes, he says, yes, the sample was not a degradation of the message. Right. A line is saying, Pierre, you literally changed my whole mindset right now. Right. Hashtag quality samples from my guy GP. Hashtag quality samples. And then a line says, that's how Costco does it. This is true. That's how Costco does it. And here's the thing. I love the GP comes back. He says payday. I love that part of the story where Pierre says, when I did get paid, when I did have money, when I could afford to sit for a full meal, then I went back to the place that not only gave me the best sample, but the best experience. And I think, man, listen, a taste of quality. This is so good. This is so good. I'm loving the fudge analogy. One thing that you can continue to sell is the feeling that came with the product/service. That lasts forever. That lasts forever. Man, listen, if I don't move, the problem with me and Pierre is that we will be here forever. So what I'm going to say right here, as I put up my next question, this is actually our first content related question today. What I'm going to say right here is go and get your tickets for the after party. It doesn't matter where you're watching right now. You can grab a ticket to the after party. The link is in the description on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I think that's all actually, we are on Twitter. We are streaming on all those platforms, and the description has a link for you to grab tickets. If you're a member, one of my members on Buy Me a Coffee, then you can get the ticket for free. Make sure you join us. All right. Ego says, we all sell feelings. So true. So here's the question. Here's the question, Pierre, right? This is what people signed up for. This is what they came for. Why should speakers and coaches give their best content away? And is a live stream the best delivery method?
Okay. So, man, listen, I can go all night with this one. I'm gonna just hang out with speakers first, or maybe that's the only one I touch. In this world of speaker, and I've lived in this world for several years, in this world of speaker, first, everyone claims that they can speak. Everyone claims that they can speak well. Everyone claims that they can speak to an intended outcome. So this is what happens from a program manager standpoint, from a conference director standpoint. This is what happens. Everybody's got run sheet. Everyone has one sheet and websites on their desk. All right, we're having a conference. We're having a leadership and tech conference, and we want to invite a keynote speaker. Who do you got? Well, I got Bob Stevens, and I got George Samples, and I got Christopher Wallace, and I have Dave Andrews, and I got Kirk Nugent. Mercy. All right, so what do you like about this person, this person, this person, this person? And they are talking, and then they're giving, look at their demo reel, da 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 da. And then someone says, I was on Kirk's live, and it was real cool because I put something in the comments, and he shouted me out. But the difference between the reason why I'm intrigued about maybe having Kirk as our speaker, because watching him speak live gives me a feeling of what he might be as a keynote speaker that watching the video of him does not communicate. Wow. Because you can edit things and go back and forth and cut, but it was live and it wasn't perfect. And that's, I think, was magical about it. He was interacting live with his audience. And that's really what we want to see from our virtual presenter, or that's what we want to see from our in-person presenter. And, my vote is for Kirk Nugent because I've seen him. I haven't just seen a video of him. I have seen him interact live with an audience. I think he can do it.
The social proof is baked in.
Yeah, I threw a biggie.
I don't. Do you have your shirt? Let me ask you. Did you get a shirt? Did you get a package from me?
I don't check the mail, bro.
Okay, got you. But
you should
be getting a package from me.
Okay.
And the package should have a t-shirt in there. And the t-shirt says your live stream is your digital storefront.
Yeah.
Your live stream is your digital storefront, because there is no greater way for people to experience your superpower.
Yeah.
For people to experience your secret sauce, for people to experience what you and you alone can do, than for them to see you do it live. And that's why we have the t-shirt. Your live stream is your digital storefront. And that's the giveaway t-shirt for this month. But man, listen, that is amazing. Now, I wonder, are you, because the comment section has gone wild, but are you going to touch on the second half of that question? Because,
okay. So, yeah.
Because, so yes, this is one of the reasons why, again, that sample analogy, the speaker, especially for the speaker, somebody has already seen you in a live thing. So now, does that give credence? Does that give weight to the idea that live is the best delivery method for people to hear and taste and sample your free content?
I think because of the world that we live in right now, so our emails and everyone, listen, no, depending on who you talk to, their methodology is the best. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just, level set that.
Come
you
on.
can be super successful with any methodology out there. We know that to be true. The reason why I like live in today's world is because live has a greater chance of making you stop the scroll.
Yeah.
Because part of it is because of fear of missing out.
Yeah. FOMO. I can't move away.
And that tab, on another platform, there's a tab and you click live and you're just scrolling through to see what's an interesting live video for me to stop and watch. And I don't care if it's somebody folding clothes or somebody throwing snowballs or playing a video game. There's something I want to connect with them that in real time when they're actually doing it. And I think with coaching, with speaking, the live piece also allows you to draw a person in that you might not necessarily draw in otherwise, because once you start interacting with my content live,
wow,
you pretty much say, please call on me.
Yeah.
And when I call on you, it invokes a huge part of business. We like to do business with people we know, like, and trust. And there's something about hearing your name, Egwu. Says, it's something about hearing your name, Miggs, that says, wait a minute. I might not have been that completely interested before,
but I'm part of the conversation.
He called my name. She called my name. Let me just sit up and pay attention, because they acknowledged my humanity and my time by simply calling on me.
My goodness.
That makes, when you do that, it makes people, after the experience, even if they catch a little bit of it, it makes them, this has got to go on a shirt or something, Kirk.
Here it is.
Makes them, when it comes down to your content, your platform, whatever you have, those types of experiences makes them want to click on one more thing.
Oof. One more thing.
Profile, shop, bio, website, another video. That type of interaction makes them want to click on one more thing when it comes to you.
I'm typing furiously over here to click on one more thing. That is so good. That is so good. Live makes us stop and pay attention. Credit Dave says, wow, I never thought of it that way. Live makes us stop and pay attention. Live has the power to hashtag stop the scroll. Live can be the taste of what is to come for speakers. That's from Living Water Quilter. Egu says, production online is a sign of great organization. It's a sign of great organization, Egu says. Geraldine comes back and says, it stops the scroll. Plus, it's an opportunity to engage, and people want to connect. All right. And then of course, we have Evan Morcell. Feeling seen also increases my desire to be an ambassador for a brand. Hashtag say my name, say my name. I love it. I love it. James Hicks says, good points. Jevin Chambers says, hello, fam. Hello, Kirk and Pierre. This is good. Donald Oliver Ministries comes through. What's good, Bishop? Good evening, fam. One more thing. Click on one more thing. What is the one more thing you want somebody to click on your site? What is the one more thing you want somebody to partake in? The service, the ebook, right? For me, the podcast, whatever it is, you want them to click on one more thing. Live has the power to move them towards doing that thing much more than any other medium, because when somebody says your name while you're live, it has impact.
Yeah.
It has impact. It has impact. I got one last question, and we barely have 10 minutes left. I got one last question. And this is what happens. This is what happens when anytime Pierre is with us, right? One last question. Share with us some of the pros and cons of climbing the ladder
10 minutes
to have a seat at the table versus building your own. So we've talked about, and people, because I want to make sure that people have that connection between the two, right? So we've talked about giving your content away for free. We've already justified that. People are resonating with it. People are ambassadors for us right now in the chat. Now, are we then saying that by doing this, we can build our own table? We can create our own opportunities? One of the things that I love to say to folks, and Pierre is gonna give us an answer to this question in just a second, is that live streaming can not only help you grow and engage an audience, funnel clients to your business, but also helps you to establish you as a thought leader, creating a steady stream of referral-based opportunities. And that's what I love about live streaming. I left my job and have not advertised, but I have a steady stream of referral-based opportunities.
Yep.
Come on, Pierre, talk to us. Cornelius Hill says, I want to build my own table. Come on.
All right. So cons, let's do the cons first. It's hard work.
Yeah, very much so.
It's flat out hard work. And I think that is the difficulty sometimes when we think about it. When we're building something,
right?
There are some things that come from being a part of an established organization. That's why a lot of people find, hey, I worked for big box firm, or maybe big box consulting agency. Maybe I worked for a Boston consulting group or an Accenture or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I walk in the door to an organization, I have Boston Consulting Group. I have Accenture.
Yep.
I have Price
Heavy
Coopers.
hitters.
Like I walk in, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter to a certain extent. You're not looking first at me. You're looking at the brand that I bring in the door.
Come on.
So, and as a matter of fact, people sometimes in those spaces don't even acknowledge you in conversations without you about what's going on. They don't acknowledge you by your name. They acknowledge you by the brand. Oh, we got a consultant from Accenture hanging out with us. Oh, we got somebody from Boston Consulting Group hanging. Like that brand is what it is. Once you transition, people are like, so what? Who are you? Where'd you come from? And it takes time to build credibility. It takes time to build those relationships in the space. It takes time. I mean, before you build the table, you got to acquire the wood. And many times to acquire the wood, you got to chop down the tree.
My.
That's going to take time before I can start even to build the table to offer seats for people to sit down. So the con is, depending on if you look at it as a con or not, the work that it will take.
Yeah.
The work that it takes, and it will challenge the fiber of your every being, all of your strengths, all of your weaknesses, all of your misgivings. They will all bubble to the surface, and it's tough to face those giants. That's the con.
That's the con.
That's the con.
That's the con.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pausing here. That's the con. Yeah. The work that it takes.
Listen,
Right,
we
right.
we talking on purpose. The pro.
The pro. The pro. Okay, so talk to us about the pro.
All right. So here it is. And then we can go with this for probably the next hour or two if we had the
Easily. Time. Even though we have like 5 minutes.
Once I build my own table, one, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
As I start to build my own table, I recognize here's the sweet thing about this, Kirk.
Yeah.
Building my own table allows some of the other organizations that previously I was knocking on the door trying to get in to do some work for them, to do some training for them. I can do a little workshop for them. I was trying to get in. Now I got my own table. Now it's like, oh, there's some challenges in your organization, and I think you should have a seat at this table. For matter of fact, I only have 5 seats. Because I only have 5 seats, I have to charge premium pricing to sit down at my table.
Come on.
It changes.
It's real.
It changes the perception. So Chris Rock said this a while ago. I shared this in a presentation maybe over a year ago. He was talking about when he was a comic and just starting off in California on the comedy scene. He didn't have money. He drove a broke down car, and he said when his car would break down, he would stick his thumb out. No one would stop. And this is what's happening to a lot of us.
I know.
Creatives, as creatives, as speakers, as coaches, I don't care what we do, as tech experts, whatever it is, we're sticking our thumb out to this digital marketplace and saying, hey, can you please buy something from me? Hey, can you please hang out with me? Hey, can you please sign up for my program? Hey, can you please do this? Right? That's the sticking your thumb out method in my interpretation. Chris Rock said when he started to push his car down the road, when people saw him pushing his car, he no longer had to stick his thumb out anymore.
No.
When people saw him pushing his car, they jumped out of their car to help him get where he was going. Woo! When you build your own table, you no longer look like the person that's sticking up their thumb on the side of the road. What it now looks like is, wait a minute, Pierre is going somewhere. And where is he going? Kirk is going somewhere. I see Kirk on How It All Works. I see Kirk on Amazon Live. I see Kirk doing masterclass. Kirk is going somewhere.
Let me help push.
And when I recognize Kirk working with our organization is mutual, because it's not just, oh, Kirk needs 5K or 10K to be a keynote speaker for our organization. It's actually reciprocity. We're helping. It becomes a partnership. And as my former RA from my freshman year at Andrews, Jeff Hook says, it's a great analogy. It becomes a partnership.
Jeff Hook is my dude.
Because we're both pushing.
It becomes a partnership.
I'm leveraging what I do as a speaker, as an executive coach. I'm helping you push because you have KPIs that you're looking to get accomplished. You have leaders that you're looking to upskill. You have morale that you're looking to build. And no longer are you sticking your thumb out trying to find any wishy-washy speaker trainer, because there's a lot of terrible people out there.
Yeah.
We're partners, both helping each other push. And when people see that you have built something or you are building something, they're more likely to help you push because they know that you're going to help them push in return.
My goodness. That analogy is absolute gold. I'm just trying to get my bearings. Let me run through a couple of comments here. Through a couple of comments here, and then we're gonna try and land this thing. Great analogy, Jeff Hook. Jeff, thank you so much for coming and hanging out today, man. GP says start pushing. Once you build the table, yesterday's price is not today's price. Listen,
Listen here.
Cornelius Hill says, pro, once we build the table, others begin to see our value. That's good. That's good. Yes, that's good. Powerful is what Living Water Quilter says. Kerwin says, build it brick by brick with passion. Ain't nobody can knock down your castle. Oof, that's good, man. And that is good. My mods are doing their good work in the comments, trying to get people into the room for the after party, trying to get people to hit that thumbs up. Let's hit that. Let's bum rush the like button. This is what I want to say to everybody, just to tack on to what Pierre has shared here. We're making this case for two concepts that seem like they're separate, but they really aren't. Is there a space for you as a content creator, as a speaker, as a leader, as a thought leader, as you want to establish yourself as an authority? Is there space for you to give away content for free? Mm-hmm. And we've made the case in today's episode that the answer is yes. Yes. And part of the process of why that is a yes is especially if you are looking to build your own opportunities, to create your own infrastructure. If that's not you, that's okay. Because here's the thing, there's nothing wrong. Some people would say it is also hard to climb the ladder, to climb the corporate ladder, to get a seat at somebody else's table. That's difficult too. But it's a different end goal than having your own table. And when you have your own table, nobody can take that from you. Alan McDonald says, what brought me here right now was Kirk building his own table. Thank you so much for that comment, Alan. That just came in right at the perfect time. Yeah. The truth of the matter is, for me, in my story, and I know we have a guest here, but I just have to say this as we get ready to go ahead and plug what he's got. But in my story, what I recognized, job after job after job after job, and I worked at some really great ones. My first job out of college was at NASA. Second job was at T. Rowe Price and Associates, and I worked my way up to market data analyst. I was working with the portfolio managers, the head of equity trading. I had some great jobs. Works for the world headquarters of a Christian denomination. And I had my good friend that's on the screen with me working in another part of the same building. I got a chance to work overseas for an NGO in a missionary capacity. I had a chance to be CIO and CTO for 2 different higher ed institutions. But what I recognized at every one of those places that I didn't have autonomy. I did not have creative freedom and license to make the decisions I wanted to make. I couldn't even show people what I would do if I had freedom, if I had free reign.
Yeah.
Most of the clients come to me to say, Kirk, I just want you to be free to do what you do because I've seen your show and I want to let you loose. I don't even want to give you criteria. Season 2, episode 6, I want that design. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Give people something that they can see as an example, because what you have in your mind of how it can be done, the world has never seen yet, because nobody is going to give you permission to be great. You have to take that opportunity for yourself. I'm gonna end that thing right there. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. This is what I want to do. I want to go to our shout out section. My man Pierre Quinn is here with us. I'm gonna put his website on the screen, and the website for my folks who are listening, the website for my podcast listeners is pierrecquinn.com. pierrecquinn.com. I'm going to make sure that website is in the description on wherever you get your favorite your podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, it'll be there. But for those who are watching live with us right now, it is in the description. pierrecquinn.com is where you can find Pierre. But Pierre, I want you to take a second right now as we get ready to close this thing out. Just tell people if you have a project that you got going on, if there's something that they can come to follow you for. You are doing great things here on LinkedIn. It's one of the reasons I was like, if I'm going to do a LinkedIn Live, I got to have my man Pierre on here with me. Talk to the folks about some of the stuff you do here on Sunday nights, whatever it is. Give people a tidbit so that they can find you and follow you and take advantage of the free sample that you have been given.
Yeah. Man, this is just such an incredible opportunity to hang out with you, Kirk, and I hope everyone jumps in the after party. I want to share a couple of things. I'm going to do this really quickly. There was a question that came up before, and the question was, does the quality matter when you're going live? Does the quality matter? And the answer is yes and no.
That's good.
The reason why I say yes and no is because your quality should not be an inhibitor of you starting. Shouldn't be an inhibitor of you starting. And I know you could turn on, you could look at Kirk and you could be super intimidated, but you don't recognize how much time, education, and experience Kirk has put into help having his virtual product, his live stream product look like this. So here's the advice that I'm gonna give you. Man, this is worth the cost of admission.
Come on, talk to me.
Allow your clients to pay for your level up. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? If all you got is what's the famous web Logitech? If all you got is a Logitech and a couple of construction lights, kill it with those Logitech, with the Logitech cam and construction lights. Somebody's gonna see you, and they're gonna say, "Hey," and it may be small, it may be large. "Hey, can you do something for our organization? Can you teach virtually or whatever?" Say yes. Have them pay you full or half deposit up front.
Come on.
Use the deposit to get you a light and a camera. So that by the time they see you, you look different than when they saw you.
Wow.
Rinse and repeat. All right. So PierreQuinn.com is the website. My social media of choice is LinkedIn, linkedin.com/Pierre Quinn. I told you I live at the intersection of helping leaders or teaching leaders to assess their strengths, build stronger org culture, and foster relationships that lead to personal and professional transformation. I do that through keynote speaking. I do that through executive coaching, and I do that through facilitating workshops. I had a conversation with my team today. There's a project that we have not released, but the How It All Works community gets to hear it first. We're only doing a handful of these. We're going to roll these out in January, but I am doing a year-long leadership coaching package. Year-long leadership coaching package. It consists of this. It consists of 1 VIP day with me. It consists of 4 check-ins once a quarter. It consists of unlimited access to me via email, and it consists of a 360 review. You're not going to find that on the website. We haven't even launched it yet. I'm just telling y'all now. Let me know you heard it on How It All Works.
It works.
Yeah. It is Leadership VIP, my leadership accelerator. And I've worked with some of the top companies over the past 2 years. If you don't believe me, hop on LinkedIn and read the receipts.
Read the receipts.
My leadership coaching accelerator, especially for leaders, you're transitioning to another position, another role, wider scope, 1 VIP day with me, up to 6 hours, 1 quarterly check-in, that's 4 for the year, unlimited access to me via email, 360 review. Wow. And when I say it, you're gonna be like, that's it? Listen, go to PierreQuinn.com, click contact. That's it. Say, I heard it on How It All Works.
He is not joking with you guys.
Accelerator.
Absolutely serious. And I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to take advantage.
I'm telling you.
Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. This is what I want. I want to say this real quick, Pierre, as we get ready to close this thing out, man. I wanted to say a word of thanks to you for taking the time. Don't go anywhere. Of course, we're going to go into the after party right after this, and you can stay right where you are, and we're going to go into the after party. But I just want to say, in front of everyone, we have over 30 something people watching right now. I want to say thank you, brother, for for coming through today, for sharing, for giving people a taste of your fudge, because that joint is gold. And I think that somebody who is at the crossroads, at a transition in their leadership right now, is going to take advantage of what you just said in terms of this VIP scenario, and it's going to change their career. It's going to change their opportunities. It's going to change their life. But somebody else, before I shut this thing down, but somebody else heard tonight all the reasons why they need to go out and build their own table.
Yeah.
If you want more of that story, if you want more of what I have experienced in building, you come back in January, because that is what I'm going to be talking about. When I give you guys the framework for live video strategy, it is literally my lived experience over the past 2 years. And I think you're going to want to show up for that. I want to thank you guys so much for coming to hang out today. And again, Pierre Quinn, thank you for hanging with us today and for sharing all that you have shared. Man, I get to sit in this seat, right? And to be your host and to share with the guests all kinds of nuggets and wisdom and value. And I'm just so excited that you guys are around for the ride. The How It All Works audience is, in my opinion, I'm not biased, the best audience in the world. And this is the reason why I do what I do. Somebody said to me not 2 weeks ago, Kirk, you've been going at this, How It All Works live show scenario for weeks, for months, almost 2 years now. How do you keep it up? I'm like, the audience is how I keep it up. The audience, the comments, the questions, the input that we get from you guys is what makes the conversation that much sweeter. It makes the information that much more relevant. And I just love that. I wanted to say that to you guys, as well as when you, in this time of the year, everybody's thinking about what they're thankful for, how you have been led through the course of the year. And I want to give special thanks to all of you. Those who are watching live right now, my entire replay squad, you know who you are. Leave a comment leave something in the comments underneath the video. And then even from my podcast crew who we are growing that space, I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us, because in this space, we get a chance to peek behind the veil. We get a chance to have that aha moment where the light bulb goes on. We get a chance to figure out how it all works. And we'll see you in the next video. Make a statement, start a conversation, buy a t-shirt. Go to howitallworks.com/shop today.